Tonight on KVR News, UTPD arrests a man for making terror threats, what we know so far.
West Campus safety question.
And UT's new student government takes office.
You're watching KVR News, your leader for live, local, coverage.
Broadcasting live from the Texas Student Television Studios at the University of Texas. You're watching KVR News at 9, Austin's leader for live local UT coverage. Your news starts right now.
Good evening and welcome back to another episode of KVR News for Monday, April 16th. I'm Baylee Wang.
And I'm Allyson Ortegon. Thank you for joining us.
A man is behind bars tonight after making terror threats against the UT campus. 23-year-old Sean Haddon is accused of calling UTPD headquarters and threatening to blow up the building. UT police say the calls started on April 7th. Haddon also called 2 separate times within 2 weeks of each other, demanding sexually explicit acts from the dispatcher. Police also say he threatened to shoot at least 200 people. It is still not clear what connection Haddon may have to the university, though UTPD says the threats were not deemed credible and there is no ongoing danger to the student body. The investigation is still underway.
There were certain things that were said on the tapes and so forth to indicate, just malice of intent, and what the motivation is, we don't know. Like I said, we're looking into everything in terms of employment, school, the whole 9 yards. I don't have any reason to tell you why he did that.
How long did it take y'all to determine that he was not actually in the Austin area that wrong?
Recent events that have happened in West Campus are making students worried about if they're really safe. KVR News explored how UT police and local Austin law enforcement are working together to keep up with the expanding student population.
You might have noticed what feels like an increase.
82% of students at UT live off campus and populate most of the real estate in West Campus. But with this much of the student population in the area, we can't help but ask who is in charge of taking care of all the crime.
If it's an off-campus emergency, it goes to the Austin Police Department. If it's on campus, it comes to the UTPD. If it's right on the border, then it may come to both of us, and we both might respond to that.
But crimes such as break-ins to assault cases to violence keep commonly occurring in the area. And as West Campus continues to expand every year, housing more and more students, the answer of who responds to 911 calls is blurring.
If there is an emergency call that we hear of, or APD lets us know that somebody is in trouble and there's something significant going on, we will respond to that. And we have authority to police that area. But it's really important to recognize that we're not funded to do that. We do that in collaboration with our law enforcement partner.
I had the chance to ask APD what efforts they were going to contribute as well.
We have foot patrols now and bike patrols. Although these aren't funded positions, I'm just taking people out of cars essentially and saying, I prefer that you ride a bike in West Campus if you can. I would love to have that 24 hours a day. I would love to have 4 bike officers here 24 hours a day. And if funding allowed, I'd do it. I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Baylee Wang, KVR News.
You might have noticed what feels like an increase in email safety alerts from UTPD regarding crimes on or near campus this semester. This sparked KVR's interest in how many reports of criminal activity police have responded to in recent years. According to UTPD crime statistics in 2015, police responded to 75 cases of assault and 35 cases of burglary. UTPD urges students to be aware of their surroundings and to call 911 if they are a witness to or a victim of any crime. The mother of the UT stabbing victim, Harrison Brown, who was killed in an attack on campus last year, is pushing for changes to knife laws in Texas. She wants to ensure safety for all students and wants to make sure something like what happened to her son will never happen again. Brown met with state policy advisors to express her concerns with House Bill 1935, which allows individuals to carry knives in public. Representative John Frollo, who authored the bill, sent a statement to KVR News about the demands she is making. He wrote, "We have not seen or heard of any issues implementing the bill. In fact, my office received a number of messages in support of the bill after it was passed. As with all recent enacted legislation, we are monitoring the implementation and the effect they are having on Texans. Our office is happy to meet any individuals or groups that have input or suggestions on House Bill 1935 and our current state knife laws."
The UT student body is entering a new beginning, and it started this past weekend with the student government inauguration. Students, faculty, and parents came together as the Student Government Board reflected on the past year, and the new board took on the role as UT's new student leaders. Among the speakers was Vice Provost of Diversity, Dr. Ted Gordon, who spoke on the future of UT, while noting that the past cannot be forgotten. Following the ceremony, outgoing Student Government President Alejandra Guzman and Vice President Mickey Wolf say their time was rewarding.
So this past year, reflecting on it, I think it was really incredible, super humbling experience. Being able to advocate for students and being able to pave the way for those that are around us to interact with administrators, interact with community leaders in the city of Austin. It's been really, really impactful.
The Colton and Mraz campaign outlined their initiatives very clearly in their platform, and students are eager to see what they will accomplish while in office.
Graduating seniors finally know who they'll get to hear speak at their commencement ceremony this May. Vice Admiral Raquel Bono will deliver the keynote address. Bono is the director of the Defense Health Agency, which is the organization responsible for ensuring the medical readiness of all those serving in the U.S. military. Bono received her bachelor's degree in psychology from UT in 1979. The Texas Ex's Alumni Association named Bono a 2017 Distinguished Alumna for her work in military medicine. UT's College of Natural Sciences is welcoming a new dean to the 40 acres. Physicist Dr. Paul Goldbart from the Georgia Institute of Technology will hold the Robert E. Boyer Chair in Natural Sciences and will begin in August. In a statement to KVR, Goldbart says he's thrilled and honored to be joining as the next dean and plans to focus on fostering relationships across the college campus to enhance diversity and inclusivity and advancing a collaborative, transparent atmosphere.
Over 4,000 runners wearing orange and white flooded the streets of campus Saturday morning for the 8th annual Longhorn Run. The run features a 10K and 5K race. It's hosted by the Longhorn Run Committee, which is part of the Student Government and UT Rec Sports. Over 400 student volunteers helped the event, from cheer stations to water stations. Some students volunteered with their organizations, while others volunteered to fulfill requirements they needed for their sport classes. Students Jody Greider and Allyson Cadill share their volunteer experiences.
Well, for this event in particular, just seeing everybody come out and have a good time is like the best part.
Just seeing all the runners, it's not always like the people you would expect running. A lot of times it's like families or friends or like co-workers. There's a lot of co-workers here.
Coming up on KVR News,
UT advancements on HIV.
and Trump attacks Syria.
We'll be right back with more news.
You're watching KVR News at 9. Your campus, your news.
The Trump administration is sending mixed messages about how they move forward after strikes on Syria. President Trump took to Twitter following the airstrikes on Friday to celebrate its success. He tweeted, "A perfectly executed strike last night. Thank you to France and the United Kingdom for their wisdom and the power of their fine military. Could not have had a better result. Mission accomplished." Trump ordered strikes following a chemical weapons attack on Syrian citizens that is believed to be initiated by the Syrian government, but Syrian President Bashar al-Assad is denying any involvement in the attacks. The Pentagon says over 100 missiles were launched and all targets were successfully hit. Trump officials are sending confusing messages about whether they will keep troops in Syria long term and whether they will move forward with sanctions against Russia.
Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg is still on the hot seat after testifying before the Senate last week about consumers' stolen information. Zuckerberg says he regrets that Facebook did not catch the leak sooner and urges users to read the fine print before signing up. A message will appear at the top of your Facebook feed to notify if your data was swiped.
The classified advertising page Backpage pleaded guilty to human trafficking in Texas. This plea comes a week after the Department of Justice and the Attorney General's office shut down the website. Sex trafficking is the fastest growing criminal enterprise, and Austin is inside inside of what is called the Triangle. Since it is in the middle of Houston, Dallas, and San Antonio, it provides a hub for human trafficking, with large events such as South by Southwest and ACL. APD's sergeant overseeing the human trafficking unit, Kevin Covington, says that there is a sugar daddy, sugar baby website that attracts many UT students, but is also acting as another hub for these types of crimes.
A team of researchers at UT, in collaboration with researchers from the University of Pennsylvania, made a recent discovery regarding HIV. We spoke with the researchers to learn more about the groundbreaking impact their work can have.
A team of advisors and graduate chemical and biomedical engineering students recently published their findings in the research journal Science Immunology.
Which could hopefully lead to the next generation of therapeutics against HIV.
The published paper that was made possible through the work of researchers at UPenn, UT, and in Mexico followed 2 years of research. This discovery led to the better understanding of the T follicular cell, or TFH cell, a cell found in lymph nodes.
I think people have an idea that AIDS is over now. That's not true, even though we have great treatment.
According to Cohen and the World Health Organization, a little over 35 million people worldwide are still living with HIV. This research is just a piece of the ongoing fight against this ever-present virus.
Previously, the TFH cell was thought to mean a patient was recovering. However, this study showed that that isn't necessarily the case. Essentially, the research offers another way to look at HIV.
It's probably just the step 1 or step 0.5. It's basically still trying to understand what's going on for the HIV patients within the lymph nodes. And if we we understand more about this part, probably we can develop some therapy to cure or vaccine HIVs, right?
Allyson, Ortegon, KVR News.
Well, Allie, let's just go back for a second and talk about that sugar daddy, sugar baby website crime going on for a second. That's insane.
Yeah, Baylee, I gotta be honest, I was a little bit blushing right there.
Wow. Well, in other news, the Texas heat is definitely coming back, and that's something that I really wasn't prepared for that much, but I guess that means summer's coming.
I gotta tell you, I don't mind the sun too much.
Really? Oh, well, all right. Well, let's see what Benjamin has for us in the Weather Center. Benjamin?
Thanks, Baylee and Allison. I'm personally upset with the warm weather we've been having. I already miss the cold. Stay tuned to see what's coming up in Austin weather.
Have a news tip or story idea? Call the KVR News tip line, 475-8181.
Welcome back to KVR News. This past weekend we saw fair conditions with highs in the 70s and lows in the 50s, making for a comfortable weekend despite the showers we saw on Friday. Today there were partly cloudy skies with a high of 83 and a low of 60. Due to the conditions in central Texas, the National Weather Service issued a red flag warning over the weekend, which is caused by a combination of wind gusts, low humidity, and warm temperatures, and makes for critical fire conditions throughout the week. Tomorrow's conditions will be beautiful with the occasional gusts of wind, but sunny skies all day. The high will be 85 with a low of 63. Wednesday brings partly sunny conditions with lighter gusts. The high will be 82 with a low of 59. The sun will continue to shine through the clouds on Thursday with highs in the 70s and lows in the 60s. To round out the week, Friday will bring a 20% chance of rain during the day and a 40% chance of showers in the evening. Highs will be in the 70s with lows in the 60s. There's a 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms on Saturday with highs in the 70s and lows in the 50s. will dry off on Sunday with mostly sunny conditions with highs in the 70s and lows in the 50s. Live in the Weather Center, Benjamin Cohen, back to you, Allyson and Baylee.
Thanks, Benjamin. We'll be right back with sports.
Now, KVR News at 9 Sports.
It was a big weekend in Texas sports. With us to tell all about it is Sean Mapes.
Yeah, Baylee, that's right. Texas baseball went up to Norman to play the Oklahoma Sooners for a little Red River rivalry action on the diamond. The Longhorns entered this weekend's series trailing the Sooners by only one game in the Big 12 standings. Texas got wins Friday and Saturday thanks to huge performances from David Hamilton and Cody Clemens at the dish and solid work from Nolan Kingham and Chase Shugart on the mound. A win on Sunday would have vaulted the Longhorns into first place in the Big 12. However, Texas was not able to pull off the sweep on Sunday, losing to the Sooners 6-0. Now, going from one diamond to the other, Texas softball looked to remain undefeated in Big 12 play as they hosted conference rival Texas Tech at McCombs Field this weekend. Let's take a look at the highlights. Texas looking to keep that perfect conference record intact. The senior Paige Von Sprecken took the mound for Texas, dominating early, pitching complete game shutout, striking out 7, and she helped herself out at the dish, getting a single right there. Also, you got Mallory Shuttle up in the second, going, don't see a foul pole. That's fair, that's a gone, 2-run home run, gives Texas enough to win Saturday's game 3-0. With more on this weekend's softball action, here's Jonathan Polasic.
Texas looked to move to 8-0 in Big 12 play, so Coach Connie Clark decided to give the ball to pitcher Paige Von Sprecken to take care of Texas Tech, and boy, did she deliver. She kept Texas Tech out of sync all afternoon with her off-speed pitch and all-around dominant play.
Yeah, I saw yesterday in Brooks' game that they were struggling with off-speed, so I knew coming into today that would be a big factor. And I just trusted Taylor Ellsworth's pitch calling, and we just moved the ball around, and it works.
It was another dominant effort for pitcher Paige Von Sprecken on Saturday, and Coach Connie Clark credits Texas's tough non-conference schedule to build their confidence to not only get the series win against Texas Tech, but to set them up for the rest of Big 12 play.
It set us up well. I mean, the thing you have to be careful with, I mean, we always go out and try to schedule the most difficult schedule we can. I think that prepares your players for what's to come in postseason. But, you know, specifically it can be a little bit of a challenge when we had that many newcomers in the lineup. So I think they handled it well. I just really didn't want to see them drop their confidence down.
With top-ranked teams such as Washington, Oregon, and Arizona out of conference and out of the way, Texas can now focus on what really matters, taking on Big 12 heavyweights Baylor and Oklahoma. Texas next takes on Baylor tomorrow in Austin at 4:30 p.m. Jonathan Polasic, College Press Box.
All right, thanks, Sean. Now let's head over to Mercedes to see what's new in Hollywood. Mercedes?
Thanks, Baylee. Tonight we'll be talking about Beyonce's appearance at Coachella, the world's largest bouncy house, and some gorilla action at a theme park in Tampa. We'll be right back with your entertainment news.
You're watching KVR News at 9. Your campus, your news.
Welcome back to KVR News. Beyonce stole the show at Coachella this year, becoming the first black woman to headline the music festival. Queen Bee performed her major hits, but her performance paid a tribute to halftime football show traditions at historically black colleges and universities. She also brought out her husband, Jay-Z, members of her former girl group, Destiny's Child, and her sister, Solange Knowles. She finished off the night by thanking Coachella for inviting her and making history. The Big Bounce America program brought the world's largest bouncy house to Austin this past weekend. The 10,000 square foot attraction is designed to bring fun to people of all ages. The event also featured a DJ booth, dance floor, and a VIP area. Unfortunately, the fun only lasted 2 days in Austin and is now on the way to its next destination. Now for this week's viral video, Busch Gardens Animal Theme Park in Tampa Bay, Florida, posted a video of one of their gorillas mimicking animal care specialist Rachel Hale. Busch Gardens says these training sessions build trust and positive relationships between the gorillas and the trainers. This video was originally uploaded on Facebook and has been shared more than 6,000 times and has over 340,000 views.
Thanks, Mercedes, and thank you for tuning in. But before we leave, we have a breaking news update.
Texas State Student Body President Connor Clegg was just impeached. Make sure to follow us and stay tuned on this matter. You can follow us on Twitter at KVR News and like us on Facebook. I'm Allyson Ortegon.
And I'm Baylee Wang. Have a great week.